What's up, guys? I'm on my lunch break right now, so I figured I'd probably do a few different stocks here. AMD, I did a video on it a little while ago. We ended up looking like we were going to break out here, then I ended up noticing a rising wedge. So you can kind of see it likes to make rising wedges and then break down. However, during those rising wedges, because we had one here, we had two here, and potentially three here. So that's something we're going to want to watch. I'm going to look into that in a second. However, we have this giant falling wedge. We went over this recently. So, I'm pretty sure my last video I made was right around here, and then we ended up falling from this wedge. I hadn't noticed the wedge at the time, and then I ended up charting it later and seeing, but we still held the same 99 support here. And then recently we made a very, very beautiful rounding bottom here right at this lower support. We broke out, we created a flag as we consolidated on this previous resistance as new support, and then we popped this flag as of today. So this is actually a beautiful break. Now, of course, we can also probably do something like this, and this is just going to be like something short term here. But if we go off of those two recent wicks here, we could probably say that we could make some kind of wedge once again. But excuse me, I'm sorry. Probably was very staticky because I have that microphone on. Now more of a rising channel now. So just give me a second. I'm in my car here and it's getting extremely hot just sitting in here with it running, no window open. So it looks like we have this rising channel here now, which is very good. So let's just take a look. So the target of a falling wedge here would be right around this recent peak. Now if you look here at this rising channel here, and I believe we went over this the last time, but this is the overall uptrend here we have been in. Now since we're flagging out here in the midst of it, then we can expect that AMD would come up here, tap this resistance, and then fall further. So this, and then whether or not it decides to control the support and do that same concept again, will really rely on the trend in the market sentiment at the time. Because if it does continue to trend in here, this could end up being a very, very clean uptrend. And, so far from, the 2018 until now, we have not lost this trending support. But so to me, it would make sense if, I'm not saying it's possible it could just one tap it, create something else, tap it again, and then eventually come down. And I don't think it would break down personally. I would say that would be a beautiful buying opportunity eventually when it does get there. So just for now, I'm looking for a target of the falling wedge is the top of the wedge, so 122 roughly. Now this uptrending line here is roughly around $130. So obviously we'd want to play the target to the 122, but we'd also want to keep our eyes peeled and keep an open mind that we could come up to this upper trending line. So basically, if you were to draw this out to keep this nice clean chart that I have going right here, is I went off of this first rip up to this $33, $34, $36, and I went from there, and then I drew it to the second peak here, which was the $94, and then the third peak here, which was that $119. So that's why I was getting very bullish on AMD, despite the fact that we came down and we had to tap this $99 range here a couple times. But this is just something to look at, and of course, it's very possible it could do some kind of thing, because you do have this potential resistance right here, right around this 114, 115 level, and things don't always go straight up, so it could trend in here a little bit, bounce till it hits that 115, could come back down here, find some previous support on this previous consolidation, and then move to the upside. There's no way to completely tell you how it's going to play out, but we can see that we did get a lot of resistance roughly around that 106, which to me would prove that if we were to trend up here, hit this 115, come back down, consolidate on this 106, and then rip to the upside, that would be a very, very clean setup. and that might look like some type of cup and handle depending on how it works out, or some kind of, you know, inverse head and shoulders. You know, that's just me predicting a trend that obviously is, you know, it's very impossible to say that this is exactly how it's going to play out, but that would be my expectations. And then obviously we just want to be cautious once you get up into that 122, 121 area for some type of potential double top. But I would love to see us get our way up into this 133, 134 area here, and then maybe get a very, very strong rejection that could bring us down into the 90, you know, depending on when we hit it, when and where we hit it, we could see ourselves coming back to this lower support here, which would be around that 95, and then we'll have to see how it plays from there. But, you know, something of the sort. I'm kind of extremely excited to see that. So I think this is a long enough video. I mean, that's just me looking at my chart only, not using any fibs, not using any indicators, and just strictly going off of this. You know, one thing to keep in mind here is this RSI down here in the daily chart. We do want to keep our eyes a little bit on this level here, because if we do reach that 114 level, depending on where this RSI is, we could see some type of head and shoulders form there on the RSI. So that's something that we'd want to, you know, maybe draw a straight line, watch for that RSI to break that. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this. But I am looking for this target of at least 121, as high as this 129, depending on where we hit it. 129, 130, could take profits a little bit sooner, and then just kind of gear up and see what happens. If we do some kind of flagging out there and start to break out, I mean, obviously, you know, you have to wait for that back test down, reconfirm this level, just in case I don't get back here in time. That would be a true breakout of this channel. But obviously throughout the history so far, we have never broke that upper channel. So if it did, it would most likely be a fake. But yeah, so that's where I'm at, guys, and I hope this is much appreciated. And if you guys want me to look at any other stocks, leave the comment down below. At least leave me a like button for just taking the time out to show you guys this. And let me know if you guys ended up buying an AMD based off of my analysis in the last video, or if you just already been long-term playing it, or if you played this breakout, because I did talk about if we could clear this 108 area, that would be the key breakout. And right now we're pretty much right around that area, attempting that right now. So, you know, this would be the true confirmation, is somewhere in this area here. But I'm not going to make this video any longer. But you could pretty much put a straight line across and say, if I can break above and confirm some support above the 108.28, that would be a true hourly confirmation. We can see we're trying to hold it right now, so you'd want to see it flag right above that white line there that I just created, and you want to see this thing flag. If it fails it, expect it to come back down here, which would roughly be around that 106 again, before maybe moving back up here. But, you know, that's kind of the trend that we're in. So if you wanted to draw this little rising wedge here, it's just basically from this first, you know, this 99.75, this peak of 100, and then these few touches here right around that 104.75, and then same with the, this is all in the 1 hour, and then same with this tap of 104 roughly, then this tap of 107.88, and then run that right across, and that should give you your nice channel here that we're in. And you could play actually the support and resistance until it isn't anymore, and that could give you some nice low buys here, unless you lost it, of course, then you know it's a breakdown. But anyway, hopefully this is all helpful. Peace.